Hi everyone, this is a kind of dual look using the Le Palette Nude, which I'm actually giving away on another video. This is Le Palette Nude from L'Oreal, so it's really quite rosy kind of toned. I think that's why it's called Rose. I think they're coming out with maybe a couple more. And I thought it would be perfect for Valentine's Day. So what I've got on is kind of a softer lip with a darker eye today, and I also did a look with a softer eye with the lighter shades and a darker lip for the evening. So there's two looks for Valentine's that I suggest. My apologies for the videoing, it's not as great as I would have hoped, but you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. If you want to ask me any questions, please do so in the comment bar, and obviously, as always, please subscribe if you wish, and I will see you in my next video. Here is the rest of it. So here we are. I've got my pearly eye base from Kiko. I'm applying that to the whole of my lid because I tend to find that it actually sticks the eyeshadow really well. It's one of my favourites at the moment. So I'm taking my Le Palette Nude and I'm taking the lightest colour in the palette. It is a bit shimmery, but I don't mind. It's Valentine's after all. Putting that at the top of my lid. I'm then taking a fluffy brush and I'm using the first matte in the palette, and I'm going to use that in my crease. I just want it to be a light dusting. So I am going to pop that in my crease. I keep putting the palette in front of my face. I'm so sorry. So yeah, using my fluffy brush with the bamboo, I'm going to put that into my crease. I've only just learned how to do this really, so my apologies. I'm taking it's actually the Makeup Revolution concealer brush, and I'm going to take the second colour in, which is a kind of rose gold, shimmery rose gold. I'm going to put that all over my lid, the movable part as they say, and I'm going to do that obviously on both of my eyes. I try to pack on the colour when it comes to these shimmers. I think it tends to kind of make my eyes look a bit better. Then I'm taking the angled brush, which is another Makeup Revolution brush. This is slightly scratchy, but I don't mind. There, I'm taking the darker nude colour, which is later on in the palette, and adding that to the corners of my eyes. Once again, I'm just trying to make sure that it's not too much of an impactful I don't know what to call it, eyeshadow, I suppose. I'm taking the blending brush because I've got quite a few of these fluffier brushes, and I'm just trying to blend all the colours together. And then I'm taking my Real Techniques brush, which is my favourite brush of all time, and I'm taking just the darkest colour at the end, but instead of putting eyeliner on, just to keep it as a soft look, I'm going to put it just on the edges, on the top of my eyelash line, and also underneath the eye, where the lash line is, keeping it very, very close to the lashes. I'm then taking the same brush actually. I'm going to take the blender brush and just rub that out a bit. I just want this to be a very soft look on the eye, because there's obviously going to be a dramatic lip with this one. So there is going to be a little bit of it, the extra pink going under my eye to kind of give my eyes that pop. I do tend to do this a lot with my makeup. If you've seen me do things before, I like to put things under the eye that make my eyes pop. So I'm taking more of that white colour on the blending brush, and I'm just blending out the rest of my eye makeup, just so that it looks a little bit softer. It's quite peachy actually. I thought it was a bit pinkier than it was. I'm now taking my favourite ever mascara, which is the L'Oreal Telescopic. It's in magnetic black, and as you can see, it really lengthens my eyelashes. I've got quite thick eyelashes anyway, and they curl because I've got curly hair, so it's really lengthening that I need, and this is just one of the most perfect that I've ever used. So on to the lips, and I've decided to go with a Max Factor red lip liner. This is the Lipfinity lip liner, I think. I've just put quite a thick line around because I'm going to be using a dark colour lipstick. I just want it to stay, and I'm using the Makeup Revolution lip shade in Reckless, and it's like a very dark red, very much for the evening out. If you're going out for dinner, maybe this is a look that I would potentially go for. Try and keep it simple and try and keep the eyes muted. So using my Rocketeur blusher, I'm not going to use anything else. I'm just putting the Rocketeur on my cheeks. It's got highlight in. It's a slightly bronzy colour anyway, so I'm just putting that on my cheeks. With a bold lip, I just try not to put too much blusher on, but I do want to give my cheeks a little bit of colour because, well, I'm really pale. So yeah, there you have it. That's the look. The soft eye using the palette Nude and a bold lip. So now on to the second look. So I'm going to do a much more dramatic eye using the kind of further end of the palette, using my Pearly eye base again. This is going to be, I love it. It's so inexpensive and Kiko has just really impressed me so far. So I'm going to be using the palette Nude again. So both looks are from that. And I'm going to use, the first colour I'm going to use is the kind of, it's the darker matte later on that I used on the outside of my eyes in the first look. But I'm going to use that as a crease colour just to make it slightly darker. And basically this is almost like I want it to be soft from the darkness that's going to come on after. And then taking the peachy colour right in the centre, and I'm just going to lay that over the top just to give it a bit of depth and a bit of shimmer, because that is a matte look. And obviously if I'm going for a bit more of a dramatic eye, I do want there to be some shimmer. So the next one, I'm taking my concealer brush again, which I use as a eyeshadow brush, and I'm taking the darkest colour at the very end. It's like a really beautiful purpley, chocolate purple. I can't even describe it, but it is gorgeous. And this is the first time I've ever used a dark colour on my lids. It's quite shocking for me because it almost looks like I've got a black eye. But I'm going to persevere with this look. So I take it all over the lid. I will blend it out later because it is quite harsh. And I'm also going to use my blending brush just to ensure that it just, although I want it to be dramatic, of course, I don't want it to look messy. So I'm blending that into the crease colour that I used earlier. I'm then going to take the little Real Techniques brush again, and I'm going to apply that same dark colour all the way under my eyes. You will notice that I possibly put too much under the other eye, but that's okay because I am going to blend that out with that fluffy blending brush. I am going to use that all over the eye, and unfortunately for you guys, you can't see this because I decided to cover my eyes with the camera. So there is a tiny bit of fallout, but I think that's user error and not the palette. It's been so good so far. I've just taken that light pink and put that to the arch of my brow. I think because I wear glasses, I tend to try and make my eyes a little bit more dramatic anyway. So I've decided that I wanted to kind of give my eyes a pop. So I've put the lightest colour in the palette and put that in the corner of my eye just to give it just a tiny bit of definition. So next up, once again, I'm using the telescopic mascara. I'm just in love with it, as I've said. I'm not putting on any eyeliner because I think with this being a dramatic look for eyeshadow and a dark look, it just doesn't need it. So next up, I'm going to be using my bronzer. This is the Sienna bronzer, which I got in a Birchbox. It's Lord and Berry and the colour Sienna. And I'm just using a small brush to kind of carve out any sort of cheekbone I have. This is an eBay brush actually. So I'm going to use the MUA blusher in Candy Floss. At the moment, this is one of my favourites, and I never thought it would be. And it's like a mauvey colour, plummy colour, which I've never used before. I always usually like rosy pinks. At the moment though, it is quite bright, so I'm going to use my big blending brush. It's a kabuki brush that I got from eBay, and I use it all the time to blend out any kind of contouring that I might do. I'm now going to use my high beam. I don't always use it. I do usually use a powder, but it's just quick and easy, and I just want a tiny bit of highlight on the edges. I don't want to over highlight my cheeks. Next up, I'm going to use a lip pencil from MUA. I wish I could remember the colour. I'll have to put it in the down bar. And then I'm going to use the only NYX butter gloss that I have in Angel Food Cake. It's glorious. It's one of my favourites. It's so nice. I love these glosses. They've just come out with a new range for spring, so I'm really excited about that. So yeah, there you have it. There is the softer, more dramatic eye, but obviously with a muted lip. I hope you enjoyed it.